Stir those cauldrons, cast those spells, and try not to overcharge. Nobody got time for that. We're going to take a look at 10 types of spellcasters to consider playing as in The Sims 4, and note that for access to spellcasters you'll need the Realm of Magic game pack. Also note that the kinds of spellcasters mentioned here are just to help inspire your gameplay, so feel free to mix, match, and change up the ideas here to your heart's content. Let's kick things off with a botanist or gardener spellcaster. Yes, there are quite a few magical plants that you can grow, including both valerian and mandrake. Don't worry, unlike in Harry Potter, these mandrakes don't scream, but while these magical plants should definitely be a part of your spellcaster's garden, it's the plant-focused practical magic spells that spellcasters can learn that truly allows them to thrive and become incredible gardeners. First is Floralorial, which casting on a plant will completely care for it, including watering it, as well as removing weeds and bugs from it. And all in all, this will make caring for your garden super easy. Just be warned though, because if your sim fails in casting this spell, it can lead to a dead plant. And nobody wants a dead plant. Perhaps even more importantly is the Herbio spell. Casting this on the ground will generate a random plant instantly, and if your spellcaster has orange charge, then this plant will be of magnificent quality, essentially meaning that you can create a full garden of high quality plants in seconds. Note though that if this spell fails, you'll generate a trash plant instead. Finally, the Copy Pasto spell can be used to duplicate objects and plants. That's right, if you've got a plant that you like, just copy Pasto on it to create a second copy. And know that a plant's quality will apply to copied plants too. Just be warned though, because a fail here will lead to a plant turning into ash. All in all though, these spells put spellcasters way in front of other sims when it comes to gardening, and they make it so that creating a gorgeous magical garden can be done with ease. As a quick side note, the snub-nosed leaf bat makes for an excellent familiar for gardener sims. It is green, sparkly, leafy, and so incredibly cute. Yes, love that for us. Next up is a Revivalist Spellcaster. A what now, you ask? Well, have you ever been playing only to have one of your sims pass away out of nowhere, forcing you to quit and lose heaps of progress? Well, with a Revivalist Spellcaster, this will never be a problem again. A Revivalist Spellcaster needs to know two key untamed magic spells, being Necrocall and De-Deathify. When used on a grave at night, Necrocall will bring forth and summon that sim's ghost. Then casting De-Deathify will see a ghost sim brought back to life as a regular sim. When combined, they make it ridiculously easy to revive a sim, and it's great to have a Revivalist Spellcaster in your game, almost as an insurance policy for if you ever forget to save and then have your sims die. Rather than exiting without saving, you can use your Revivalist Spellcaster to bring that sim back to life. Just know that you'll still need to get them to rejoin their old household. Moving on to look at playing as an isolated off-the-grid spellcaster. Living a peaceful life in a cottage in the middle of nowhere and without water and power is really not too hard for a spellcaster who knows a little bit of practical magic. They can spend their days reading and studying spells, tending to plants in their cottage, and generally living their best lives, because who needs water and electricity when many needs can be taken care of with spells? The Scrubberoo spell will take care of your hygiene need, and the Delicioso spell will let you conjure food from thin air, so that's hunger sorted too. As long as you have some social interaction from time to time, as well as a toilet to poop in and a bed to sleep in, then you're pretty much sorted. Also, using candles and lighting that doesn't require electricity works really well here too. The fourth type of spellcaster that we'll look at is a Potions Master Spellcaster. I find that most of the time when I play with spellcasters, the spells themselves are the focus and the potions just complement the gameplay. But when making a Potions Master Spellcaster, the potions take the main stage. There are so many potions that can be used in all sorts of different ways, from restoring needs to increasing skill gain, forcing friendships, cheating death, and more. When making a Potions Master, you'll want to grab perks from the potion skill tree, which will mean you'll create potions faster, make additional doses, and that your potions will have added benefits too. Most notably, potent potables will allow Sims to hex potions to make them fail, and thus unlock a whole new range of more sinister potions that you can give to others. Also know that the Purveyor of Potions aspiration ties in really well with this too, and that completing this aspiration grants your Sim the Master Mixer trait, which will make it so that potions very rarely fail when used on yourself. Now let's take a look at a Royal Spellcaster family. Of course, any sort of Royal Legacy style gameplay is quite fun, but Spellcasters have something that gives them a bit of an edge, being bloodline traits, of which Spellcaster Sims can have a weak, strong, and ancient bloodline. These traits are generational. If a Spellcaster with no bloodline has a baby, then the offspring will be born with the weak bloodline trait. Then if a baby is born and at least one parent has a weak bloodline, then the baby will be born with the strong bloodline trait. And again, if a baby is born and at least one parent has a strong bloodline, then the baby will be born with an ancient bloodline trait. All of the bloodline traits grant spellcasters with an additional talent point at each spellcaster rank, which is hugely helpful. A weak bloodline also increases experience gained and reduces the chance of overloading by 10%. A strong bloodline increases experience gained and reduces the chance of overloading by 20%, and an ancient bloodline increases experience gained and reduces the chance of overloading by 50%. It can be very fun to create a family of spellcasters that grow increasingly stronger with each generation through this trait, and it fits in so well from a storytelling angle. Not to mention that creating spellcaster families is just a lot of fun in itself. Moving on to creating an all-powerful master spellcaster. That's right, move over regular spellcasters as the best of the best is about to enter. This spellcaster's aim is to become as powerful as possible by learning every spell and potion that there is, and gaining every spellcaster perk possible too. It's a bit of a completionist way to play as a spellcaster, and it will leave you with a sim who's incredibly versatile and even a little bit broken in terms of just how easily they'll be able to go through life. Consider the spellcaster and sorcery aspiration for this type of spellcaster, which you should be able to complete relatively easily, and doing so will award your sim with the Slinger of Spells trait, which means that you'll generate a lot less charge when casting various spells. If you have the Get Together expansion pack, then having a super powerful spellcaster create a club for spellcasters, or even just making a network of spellcaster friends and engaging in lots of duels can further help to bring this playstyle to life. Now for the Master Manipulator Spellcaster. Just like Katie Heron learned to control everyone around her in Mean Girls, with the help of a few key spells, your spellcaster is about to as well. Firstly, looking at some mischief magic spells. Desperio will cause the target sim to become very sad for a few hours, though if it backfires, then you'll be the sad one. You can also cast Furio to get sims to fight other sims, though be warned that you'll be punching on yourself if this backfires. Then there's the Infatuate spell, which you can cast to get two sims to start making out. But know that if it fails, then they'll be going for a makeout session with you instead. Maybe that's okay though, maybe. And of course, while this is all very fun, the pinnacle of being a Master Manipulator Spellcaster is the Untamed Minionized spell. If cast on sims, they'll get a dazed moodlet for a couple of hours, and during this time you'll be able to command that sim to clean, make food, or go to sleep for a period of time. Know that if you're sick of having control over your newfound minion, then you can slap them out of their trance too. Another thing to keep in mind is the Potion of Forced Friendship as well, which allows you to become friends with lots of sims super easily. All in all, by learning a select few spells, you can become a rather nefarious spellcaster who is a master at manipulating everyone around them. Play Cupid or cause chaos, it's up to you what you decide to do. The 8th spellcaster idea is kind of a 2-in-1, being to create either a highly good or alternatively a highly evil spellcaster. While you can go down the way of being a highly good spellcaster through practical magic spells like Repario and Scrubberoo, it is admittedly a lot easier to be evil. Use Inferniate to set sims on fire or Zip Zap to electrocute them. Know that while Inferniate cast on a sim won't kill them, if you cast it on the ground near a sim at your home lot, then if a nearby sim catches a light, then they will actually pass away. So yes, you can commit murder with magic. Another very fun spell for an evil spellcaster to use is Burgliate, as this allows a spellcaster to go around stealing objects. And for your more dastardly sims, they could make a habit out of visiting friends, seeing something that they like, and then taking it. A side note is that with the Get Together expansion pack, you can create clubs. And if you add the Cast Spells club activity to your club, then spellcasters will autonomously start casting all sorts of spells during a gathering. And this includes chaotic spells that will set everything on fire. Love the chaos. Moving on, and creating a collector spellcaster is next. Realm of Magic brings with it the Magical Artifacts collection, and this collection is filled with various wands, brooms, and familiar orbs. These can be great to use to travel, summon familiars with, and of course cast spells with. And on top of this, they can make for excellent display pieces. It can be rather fun to gather these and then use them to set up a magical wares shop, selling all sorts of magical items, and even other magically themed furniture too if you feel like expanding. On top of this, spellcasters can learn the Copy Pasto spell, which allows them to duplicate heaps of objects, particularly smaller ones like collectibles. And this makes spellcasters amazing collectors of all sorts, so you can absolutely expand your shop beyond just magical artifacts here. And now the final type of spellcaster that we're going to talk about is a mentor spellcaster. Think of them as the spellcaster that helps other spellcasters come to be, like Dumbledore, but not quite Dumbledore. For this, you're going to want a high-ranking spellcaster who can learn the Rite of Ascension, which enables them to turn regular sims into spellcasters. In addition, you'll also want to pick up the Natural Mentor Spellcaster perk, which increases relationship and skill gains when training or experimenting with other spellcasters. While this was very hard to accurately measure, from my experience, I believe this increase effectively doubles relationship and skill gain, so it's super powerful. A Mentor Spellcaster can also work so well for when it comes to storytelling, and overall it can make for a really fun playstyle using your powerful spellcaster to mentor and bring up new ones. And with that, we're at the end. That's 10 fun spellcaster ideas to consider in your gameplay. If you enjoyed this video, then you might like my video looking at 10 types of vampires to play as, so check that out if you want to. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day. See you later!